Knucks should consistently be in UK rap debates, with Alpha Place, gold certified, millions of monthly Spotify listeners, and a cult-like fan base. People say he needs more recognition. But why doesn't he get it? From South Kilburn to the MOBO's Album of the Year, Knucks fights for the pure creative. This is why he's a legend in the making.
Like, if you don't fit in a certain box, like if you don't do this kind of music, it's like the scene tells you that you're not going to be successful.
Knucks don't fit in no industry box. He made his own. So let's take a look at how. Knucks grew up in South Kilburn's Alpha House in northwest London. In the early 2000s, grime was it. Easy barrier to entry, and if you were good enough, you'd rep your area. Downloaded LimeWire beats were their backing track as he spat with his crew, YOR, or Youngers on Road, at around 12 years old. Knucks was into creative writing and English at school, so getting creative with it came natural to him. The music caught hold of him, and via some of the grime tracks with soulful samples early on, he was hooked. He wasn't a bad youth, but he was mischievous. Trouble eventually caught up with him at school, and a meeting with the heads suggested he no longer had a place there, and Nigeria called.
South Kilburn Estate, I grew up in a block called Alpha House. So I started doing grime around like 11, 12. LimeWire beats, you know, like everyone else, I feel like just LimeWire beats. Screwface and Stimpy,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? Yeah, so I was recording from then, and then when I started year 7, I had a couple of my guys that I went primary school with, that I was still cool with in secondary school, and then we met some other people, and then we made like a little group in it called YOR. But when I was 12, I got sent back to Nigeria, innit?
But Nigeria wasn't a punishment. In the grand scheme of things, it was a perspective shift. What happens when a young kid from South Kilburn gets a hard reset? Knucks came back sharper and more intentional. No one was ready. Nigeria rewired Knucks. He spent a year in boarding school, sent because of the bad behaviour he continued to carry on with in his UK school. The experience stripped him back. Hearing your inner voice, he said, matured him fast. Teachers back home knew the levels and clocked how bright he was, but they couldn't get through to him. Returning back to London at 13, grime had taken a little back seat and other genres had taken centre stage, with popular grime MCs getting pop money, and on the underground, dubstep, amongst other genres, were in. Knucks found Nas Illmatic, and artists like MF Doom and Currency. All artists that were sample heavy in their music, so they resonated with him on a deeper level. From 14, he started writing Killmatic, fusing South Kilburn with his love for Illmatic. And from there, watching others at school making beats and spitting on them, he took the cues and started teaching himself production on some free software.
But I feel like I spent a lot of time alone, man, and like a lot of time just thinking, you know, like hearing your inner voice, like when you're talking to yourself and you're like, da, 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 da. That was the first time I've ever done that. London, everything is so fast paced, like you don't really have time to think about what's going on. But there, it's like everything is so slow, so you deep stuff.
First EP is called Killmatic. It's an ode to Illmatic from Nas. Do you remember when the first time you heard Nas music?
I think so, yeah. I just never heard anything like it. The thing that stuck out with me the most was just how relatable it was to me, even though he was in
A different place.
Yeah, a completely different country and with different culture and different everything, slang, everything was just different from where I'm from. But there's fundamental things that are just the same. The social classes, the way people in lower class places are treated, the things that they have to do in order to survive, those kind of things, like trying to make money and stuff like this. Those similarities is what made my ears prick up and be like, "Raw, like this guy's like me," kind of thing. So, and that's what gave me the idea for the concept of Killmatic. So there was only a few producers that made grime music with those soul samples. So if you couldn't ask the producer, can I have this beat? You couldn't get the beat. So for me, it was difficult because the few beats that had that sound to it, I had no access to them because for whatever reasons, the producers didn't really want to give them to me. So I just started making my own.
This was the birth of a new sound, but he had no studio or spotlight. How does a younger break through? Knucks' grind was just beginning. Knucks was determined. His cousin Mark hooked him up with a friend who ran a studio, N, also known as NRG, who saw the vision. In 2014, Killmatic dropped on SoundCloud. Knucks, still at uni, hitting the studio and doing small gigs, and singles like 21 Candles and Breakfast at Tiffany's hit SBTV and created a buzz. And by 2018, Vows and Frostbite further built the buzz and a loyal wave of support, with NRG and Mark playing a role in development and management and getting him positioned. A link from Mark's close collaborator Sincere had opened the doors to Island Records, but then the sudden death of NRG in 2018 rocked everything.
Two weeks after I put him Energy come to me and said to me like, "Yo, I didn't want to charge him. I don't want to charge you. I want to help you with him. I want to help you develop him, and I want to help you manage him." And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Alright, cool." And that was the beginning of it. At the time, Sin got us a situation. We're negotiating a deal with Island. We get Island, so just as we're about to sign this deal with Island, we get to sign this deal with Island, we lose Energy.
But like, just all sorts of little props. We got a cake, and then yeah, we made this video, and then I think we've put it on SB as well, innit? And that was the first time that like I had a buzz from a video, innit? Like a lot of people were talking about the song. I never have expectations anymore, man, because I feel like they just always get disappointed, bro. And you know like how the scene is, the UK scene anyway, it's very like, I don't know, nitpicky with music, and it has to be about a certain topic or a certain way for them to like it, innit? But I can make music that is good quality music, but people just won't take it the way I think it should be taken, innit? So I just got rid of expectations. I just make what I like and then just put it out, and if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. And yeah, just Vows just so happened to be one that connected with people.
The loss hit hard. It was a bittersweet moment. Knucks had a new deal, he had something to prove, and he also wanted to salute to NRG's legacy. "2019, NRG 105 honoured and saluted his mentor with the GTA radio vibes and features from Wretch 32 and Oscar World Peace. Home was the standout, a slow burner created after a session away that ultimately was frustrated due to writer's block. He was due to make 5 to 6 tracks and coming out with one, but this one was special. Unfortunately, Island Records dropped Knucks after the NRG 105 project, but Knucks and the team took it in their stride, negotiating one last video project as they left in the form of the Home visuals. 2020's London class next up, off the back of the major buzz of Home, touching on gentrification and inspired by the South Korean TV series Itaewon Class, featuring Loyal Kana, Akala, Venna, Keys and Sam Wise. 2021 saw the release of the hit Los Polos Hermanos, inspired by the Breaking Bad chicken shop. 3.8 million views on YouTube and 170 million Spotify streams to date. This proved that his smooth vocals over the crossover drill sound was as addictive as the chicken served at the restaurant.
Home, bro, is like, I feel like that song in particular, may have been a slow burner. And then all of a sudden it just started like really like picking up pace and people started to pay attention to it.
Because I knew what was expected of me, and I just couldn't deliver. Like, all Sin gave me like a memory stick that Universal had given him with just bare samples, cleared samples in it. So I'm going through them like every day, fam, and I wasn't catching nothing. And then on like maybe the 4th day, I found a sample off my own. Like, it wasn't one of the Universal ones, I just found it. And then I just started writing home, man.
And yeah, so we had that record out, and so I knew, so when we put the record out in July, just the audio version of it, like people, his fans, his community, loved that record straight away. And I knew that, but then we come out the deal, like I said, in August, September. But I negotiated that they still gave us a budget for the final video, which would have been home video.
Okay.
So, got the budget for that, and we shot that video in November.
It's mad relatable.
Fam, because it gets like that, man.
Yeah.
It really gets like that. And it's stuff that we all have ego, fam. We all get jealous. We all have these little things that we shouldn't really be proud of, and we don't really talk about because we're not proud of them. But I feel like it's important to highlight these things, man.
Yeah.
Because it allows us to take a look at ourselves.
Of
You know what I'm
course.
saying? Thing that I tried to do with Home was also kind of like put a face to all of the, like, I don't really like the way some of the people, like the black youths that get bagged, are seen in it. They're not seen. It's like it's thoughtless crime. You know what I'm saying? It's like you just see them the mugshot on the TV, and you're just like, oh, they're just criminals. You know what I'm saying? But I tried to add a context behind some of these
100%.
stories, so it's like you can understand now that that criminal is somebody's son who just
100%.
so happened to get in a situation that led to that. I felt like my career was like represented by the restaurant, his cafe or restaurant, innit? So obviously man's from London, so I called it London Class. That's my restaurant, which is like a symbol of my career, the fact that I never bended, never folded. I stayed with what I believed in.
From being dropped to flipping it on its head, through the love of the music, strong work ethic and a unique sound, he was close to something special. It's 2022 and Knucks drops off Alpha Place, his own classic to add to his discography. It lands at number 3 in the UK album charts, is currently certified gold, and picked up a MOBO award for Album of the Year. Same year, he had a sold-out headline show at Coco. Knucks is the truth and doesn't need the gangster facade. In 2024, he dropped an EP with K-Trap.
The kid is talented, and he's brave. He approaches music from a brave perspective, coming up how we come up in London and talking about the things that happen in London, whether that's ninth crime, drugs, road life, or whatever you want to call it, and like, he humanizes it. He tells it in a way that other people can see that you see people and you don't see caricatures. Seeing a caricature is very dangerous. Like you base life on Grand Theft Auto, it's disposable, but that's someone's life. That's someone's, and he's found a way to paint this picture and humanize this experience.
I didn't have any expectations, you know. I never do with my music because I spent so long doing it, and I never ever I never get what I expect, so I just stopped expecting. But I knew that it was gonna be big. I knew it would resonate with people, but I just didn't know what it would amount to in terms of numbers. But it's great. You get what I'm saying? I can't complain, you know. I just want people to care about my music as a musician, and that's it. I'm not trying to be a celebrity or famous guy or anything like that. I just want people to take in my music. So I do everything I can to put my personality, the things I like you said, even like, because I know a lot of people, because I don't talk too much on social media, they think I'm a very serious guy, but I don't get that because it's like if you listen to my music, you know I'm a dumb guy. Like I'm always saying silly things and stuff like that. So yeah, I just put my personality into my music, and then outside of that, I'm just, you get what I'm saying?
Knucks, like his label, his team, and his mantra, takes no days off, and is still building a legacy. And with his recent post, we can expect a lot more to come. He's very far from done. Knucks has carved out his own lane and has a blueprint that should inspire up-and-coming artists. Building a cult-like fan base from the ground up and creating his own unique sound. And with consistency, what are we saying? GOAT status?
When you tell us we can't do something, we're gonna rebel. And there's so much other people that have no voice. We're the voice of these people. People that are under the system, can't get out, have a shit life, miserable, depressed. But he makes them have hope. He gives them hope. Like, look at the kids that's coming today, little kids, teenagers even, just to get a signed CD of Knucks. Like, come on, man.
Please like and subscribe and let me know some of your favorite tracks from Knucks in the comments. Thank you.